In Numbers 13:1, God spoke to Moses saying, "Send men to scout out the country of Canaan that I'm giving to the people of Israel." And then on down in verse 3, he says, "So Moses sent them off from the wilderness at the command of God." And on down a little bit further in verses 21 and 25, it continues, "They scouted the land, and after 40 days of scouting the land, they returned home. And they presented themselves before Moses and Aaron and the whole congregation of the people of Israel in the wilderness at Paran at Kadesh. And they reported to the whole congregation and showed them the fruit of the land. Then they told them the story of their trip." They told this story. They said, "We went to the land to which you sent us, and yes, it flows with milk and honey, all right. And look at this fruit. It's amazing how big and how ripe and how sweet it is. But the only thing is that the people who live there are fierce. And their cities are huge, and they're well fortified. And worse yet, we saw descendants of the giants. And the Amalekites are spread out in the land, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites hold the hill country, and the Canaanites are established on the Mediterranean Sea and all along the Jordan." And Caleb, who was standing there, who's one of the spies on the trip, interrupted, and he called for silence before Moses, and he said, "No, let's go up and take that land. And let's take it now, because we can do this." But the others standing around in the group, who were also in fear and who were mesmerized by all the giants and the fortified cities and the fear, said, "We can't attack those people. They're way stronger than we are. And this is a land that swallows people whole. And everybody there we saw was huge. And wow, we even saw the Nephilim giants. And alongside them, we felt like grasshoppers. And they looked down on us as if we were grasshoppers." And recently, God brought me back to this scripture that I've read so many times, and I'm sure you have too, and it's so familiar, because he had something new that he wanted to reveal to me this time. And what he showed me is that we each have a promised land that God has placed in our hearts. And it's our deepest desires, and it's his purpose in us that he's placed there, and it's our promised destiny that he's given to us already. And just like the Israelites, we've already been given the promised land to inhabit. But we're wandering around in our own wilderness because we're fearful of and overwhelmed by our own giants and our own well-fortified strongholds that scare us and overtake us and cause us to stumble and cause us to doubt and stay stuck. Yet God doesn't leave us there in that reality, because that's not who he is. He wants to show us the pathway to breakthrough so that we can inhabit the land with which he wants to bless us. And we have to be ready to seek his wisdom and guidance to lead us to victory over those giants and those strongholds that stand in our way. And he says that we are victorious in our power and our authority in him as his children. And we must learn how to walk that out with his help, his support, his strength, and his courage in us. He gave me those instructions to work through and to pray over with him. And I wanted to share them with you too, so that you can follow this pathway to break through your giants and your strongholds, to fully inhabit and enjoy the promised land that he's already given you to inhabit. And you just have to step in. And here are the steps that I want you to follow. Number 1, draw your promised land on paper. Draw your land. Ask God to show you what land he has for you. What does he want to entrust to you? And how does he want you to see and experience that land? And listen to his wisdom within you, and let his love for you speak to you about the destiny that he has for you. Regarding your marriage, your purpose, your calling, your relationships, your business, how you live, your finances, your health, the deepest desires and the passions of your heart in every area of your life. Write it all out in detail as it flows to you. And don't limit it or hold it back. And then every day when you spend time with him, you can see the land and all the victories and all the blessings he wants to give you in your land as a reminder of his promise. And it will incite hope and it will deepen your faith. The second step is this: draw your giants and your strongholds that stand in the way of you stepping into the land that he wants to give you. You can even draw stick figures or blocks, whatever it looks like to you, whatever you identify with. And you'll know what some of them are, but ask him to show you what all of them are. And continue asking over time until he reveals every single one of them. And write them all out in detail by each giant and each stronghold. Maybe it's unbelief about something. Maybe it's fear and anxiety or mistrust or self-sufficiency that you won't release, or striving, control, worthiness, or a question of your worthiness. Believing lies like what? Or disobedience about. Ask him. And be willing to see what you may not want to see or deal with. And don't judge or condemn yourself. Recognizing the truth is the first step to setting you free. And the third step is this: ask him to reveal to you what he wants you to know and what he wants you to do about each of the giants and the strongholds to get breakthrough. What does he want you to let go of? How does he want to help you conquer those giants and tear down those strongholds? And he'll give you instructions if you're really willing to hear what he has to say. And he'll show you the way to break through. And he may even ask you to do something really hard. But if you don't resist it, he'll give you the strength and the courage to do it. And he will walk it out with you. So ask him for the willingness and the courage to do what he shows you. And ask for help from others who are anointed and equipped to help you if you need it too. And stay in consistent prayer, asking for his revelation, his wisdom, his faith, and his strength until you have clarity about what's yours to do and what he wants to do for you and what he will do for you. Then follow and believe in faith that it will be done. Please hear and believe me when I say that staying in your wilderness in struggle, stress, discouragement, and lack is not your inheritance, and that he has a land for you to inhabit that he wants to lead you into right now. But you have to be willing to do the hard and the holy things to get there. And you don't have to do it alone. You have the creator of the entire universe in you to show you the way and to fight your battles for you when they seem too big and too scary. And he will not fail you in that. He will come through for you, and victory is already yours. Dear warrior, your time to conquer is here. Stay with this exercise until you experience the breakthrough, and it is coming, I promise you. And if you're tired of the stress and the struggle and you're ready to break through to the life of freedom, fulfillment, and abundance and joy that God has for you, one where you can fully abide in his goodness and enjoy the fullness of his blessings for you, then I've created 2 powerful resources that lay out the path so that you can truly live in the life of your design. And the first one is my online coaching course. It's called Your Breakthrough Experience: Living the Life of Freedom, Fulfillment, and Abundance. And it's available now at the link below this video. And the second resource is my book. It's called Warrior Arise: Live Bravely, Freely, and Authentically You. And it's available on Amazon, and the link is available for you right below this video also. And I hope that you will take advantage of both of these resources, because the course and the book are a compilation of over 20 years of wisdom, practices, and tools that I've learned both personally and professionally, and that I've implemented from my personal and professional journey to discovering and learning to live in the life of freedom, fullness, and abundance that God promises us is ours. And I want to share with you the resources so that you can break free from your struggles and your strongholds and enjoy the life that you yearn for.